Hey guys, we're back here in the American four-cylinder motorcycle exhibit here at Wheels Through Time. It's week 2 of our Drive for History fundraiser. If you guys got a chance to tune in with us yesterday, we actually did an exhibit overview highlighting a lot of the rare machines inside of the four-cylinder exhibits. Henderson, Indian fours, Aces, Excelsior Hendersons, and we even had a chance to run the 1936 Indian four-cylinder. Today, we got a special bike I wanted to share with you, our 1923 Ace racing motorcycle. Now, as I know it, this is the only authentic, original Ace racing motorcycle in existence. Now, Ace was built in Detroit, Michigan, 1920 to about 1927. It's actually started by the same two guys that started Henderson. So Tom and Will Henderson, way back in 1912, created the real, first American four-cylinder motorcycle, first competitive American four-cylinder motorcycle, the Henderson. They operated in Detroit from 1912 to 17. In between 17 and 18, they actually sold to Excelsior. Now, Schwinn, who owned Excelsior, brought in the four-cylinder line to their Chicago plant and named it an Excelsior Henderson. So anytime you guys see right behind me here, the big X on the four-cylinder tank, that's an Excelsior Henderson. So as the story goes, Tom and Will ended up working for Excelsior for a couple years. They ended up having some sort of falling out with Schwinn. They quit. They moved to Philadelphia and started making Aces. I told you they were made in Detroit. They were actually made in Philadelphia, excuse me. So moved to Philadelphia, started making Aces in 1920. Now, the Ace was always kind of referred to as the Duesenberg of American motorcycles, one of the classiest and most refined machines on the road, period. Now, this Ace is actually a racing Ace. It's quite a bit different than your standard Ace, standard road model Ace of the day. Short coupled, reinforced racing frame, ultra rare racing engine, all special components, tiny little teardrop gas tank, quite a bit smaller than the standard gas tank of the day. And up front, we've got the flying Merkle front end. It moves telescopically, so there's just the tiniest little bit of suspension. The flying Merkle fork was really a preferred fork amongst many of the racers of the day. Now we've got these big wide handlebars, so give you plenty of leverage, drop just a little bit, so you're pretty much in the tuck when you're on this machine all the time. Now over on this side, guys, big old four-cylinder magneto, suicide stomper clutch here. So no rocker clutch like on your Harleys and Indians of the days. It's just a suicide clutch, single gear shift here. So over on the other side, racing manifold, racing exhaust manifold with the short pipe, single carburetor. This is a Schebler DLX. And as you can see, they've got fully enclosed rockers and valve springs. All of this stuff we've just recently oiled. All the springs down on the bottom and lifters have been recently oiled as well. So 28x3 racing tires. These are actually original Goodyear racing tires. 28x3s. Tires are probably 100 years. Big wide handlebars. So give you plenty of leverage, drop just a little bit. So you're pretty much in the tuck when you're on this machine all the time. Now over on this side, guys, big old four-cylinder magneto. Suicide stomper clutch here. So no rocker clutch like on your Harleys and Indians of the days. It's just a suicide clutch, single gear shift here. So over on the other side, racing manifold, racing exhaust manifold with the short pipe, single carburetor. This is a Schebler DLX. And as you can see, they've got fully enclosed rockers and valve springs. All of this stuff we've just recently oiled. All the springs down on the bottom and lifters have been recently oiled as well. So 28x3 racing tires. These are actually original Goodyear racing tires. 28x3s. Tires are probably 100 years old, guys. So it doesn't get much more original than this 1923 Racing Ace. This machine was actually found with another Ace in Ohio by my dad in 1991, and he promptly sent it out to a good pal of ours, Steve Hunsinger. Steve lives in Arroyo Grande, California, and is really one of the premier restoration artists for early American motorcycles and racing motorcycles. So Steve did a number on this and turned it back to its former glory, and really probably looks like the day that it rolled off the assembly line right there at Ace. So we're going to get this thing fired up. Easy starters, the four cylinders are, so this thing ought to crank right off. Fingers crossed. And it makes quite a sound, guys. Listen to it roar. See the rockers moving on the inside. Guys, doesn't get much better than that. Smooth, smooth, smooth. No vibration whatsoever. Neat story. In 1923, Ace actually built a motorcycle that we always kind of refer to now as the XP4. The XP4 land speed racing motorcycle, built specifically to break a record. The bike actually went 129 miles an hour in 1923, if you can imagine that. Red Wolverton was the pilot, and they actually did it on Roosevelt Boulevard in downtown Philadelphia. Amazing record, and it stood for some years. So this racing ace actually hadn't run this bike in probably 3 or 4 years, so it's great to get it back into running order, and glad you guys could hear it with us today. Guys, our drive for history, what we're doing is we're bringing you new content every day this summer. It's our big fundraiser, being that the museum's not open right now and that so many people are stuck at home. We wanted to bring you guys new shows, new content about the bikes, the people, the places that make this place what it is. So if you guys are digging what you see, make sure you log on to wheelsthroughtime.com/donate and make a contribution today, guys. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.